Hi, vibrations, sweet babies. Okay, so, wow. What the heck was that Lionsgate portal, friend? Can we just talk about that? That was really interesting. Whether there was actual real changes that physically, tangibly took place, or whether it was just a real deep internal shift, it was very potent and very strong and very real for so many of us. So right off the bat, 37 just came up 3 times. This is recording 337. I looked at the timestamp, it was 37. And right here at the bottom of the deck, we have card 37. I've been talking about this number a little bit more frequently because it started showing up at, like, if I'm going to be honest, a very triggering time in my life. And I was just like, why? Why am I seeing this all the time? And you ever have a number that's just like, or is that just me? That might just be a me thing. But anyway, so I decided to look into it. Yeah, definitely was time to turn that AC off because it's already very chilly in here. I don't need that going. So I decided to look into the meaning of 37, and it represents harmony, which I think is absolutely so on point and really beautiful in a way, and kind of helped me work through my trigger around that because it was just a really beautiful takeaway at the end of the day. It was just like, finding harmony in life and being in harmony with life and like literally in tune and in it, in the experience, feeling the oneness, feeling the just like real contentment and peace in being in connection with life and life around you. That was the main takeaway that I took from it. And of course, with numerology, there's lots of different deep meanings to all of it. But that was kind of the bite-sized meaning that I found myself kind of coming back to. And whenever I see it, I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's exactly the energy of the situation. So right now, I will say that 55, 66, 22. I'm also going to say maybe 111 or 11. So, yeah, that Lionsgate, friends. Holy moly. What in the world was that? I really, I was, if it wasn't a external change, something like very tangible, like, I left this job situation and I'm going to be starting a new one, and it feels like it could open up doors for me and, create a lot of possibilities, so on and so forth. There's just like this very big shift that has occurred in some way, in some form for the collective, whether it's internal or external. And then we had the full moon in Aquarius. Kind of all these energies were kind of going on simultaneously. And it was like this really big energy of letting things go, or letting things maybe out, be expressed. I think that was a really, messages just came out as I was saying this. 77777 is also significant. Communication, letting things out. I feel like, airing things out might have been the kind of energy. But I don't want to be reading backwards. I want to be reading into... Look at that. The card harmony just popped out. So let's just read into what's good. what does the collective really need to hear about Okay. So, first and foremost, I want to say that walking through the 8-8 portal was not something necessarily ending, but something beginning. So, because we had the full moon energy, I think it was this influence of like something being let go, and almost like an end or resolve to something. But actually what it really was like a new beginning, because they're one and the same, but it's more so the energy of a new beginning and things being really in their infinite potential at the moment. Like a lot of things are possible for you in this time and in this space. So don't give up on what things. Let's see what we have here. Exactly. 12 might be significant. Yeah. There's a couple of dates in this reading that are very specific, and I'm actually not going to go too far into them because they're so specific that I wouldn't feel comfortable, to be honest, because they're like specific to me. So that's really interesting. But I'm just going to say this, like there are particular dates that are coming up in your calendar that have significant meaning, and this might be something for you to really make sure you're staying focused on your peace, your harmony, and following whatever confirms that. So instead of maybe when we are kind of in this place of like anything's possible, I might not really know what direction to take, there's a lot of like things available to me, I'm going to follow the signs. But instead, what I'm seeing here in the cards is that you need to be following what feels good and feels peaceful and feels harmonious. Ooh, fear might come up, but feels harmonious. And let the sign be your confirmation, not your guiding force. Ooh, that's really juicy, actually, to think about it like that. Yeah, because I think a lot of times when we do it the other way, where we're like following what these symbols, signs, confirmations, affirmations are kind of showing us, we forget that we have some direction, free will, choice in the matter. So really try to look at your upcoming journey from this standpoint of what feels really good. And so I want more understanding around this. Wow. Okay. Oh my goodness, sometimes the cards are like, the tea is so hot, y'all. I can't. So something around the Lion's Gate, this ending, might have been a matter of the heart. Either the way that you were looking at things, the way that you were in connection with something or someone, but it definitely seems like that the way, and I'm just going to be real, like, there was an ending in something. It was supposed to feel like an ending in your mind. You're preparing, maybe you're bracing for some kind of like big finite ending to something with the full moon, and like maybe put a little bit, because there's so much hype, I would say, like around different transits. And at the end of the day, the portal was really like, no, we're not focusing on like this big ending, whatever. Like you might have had to air things out, let things go, let things out, whatever. Something needed to be expressed so that a shift could occur, but that's exactly what it was. It was like a shift. So something new started just like that. And it feels like, yes, let go just came out. Like there's something was let go that felt like a sabotage to your peace and your harmony and your flow, and you really needed to let that go. But yeah, exactly. When you're manifesting from here on out, when you're calling things in, when you're aligning yourself to the vibration of the things that you want, it really needs to come from your own joy, your own harmony, your own flow, and let the universe confirm those things for you. Let source confirm those things for you, and manifest those things for you after you set the intention. Y'all, I have been on my Gaia kick, okay, back into my Gaia mode, because I'm in a place, every once in a while this happens, where I just feel like my brain is like ooey gooey and just like not wanting to, it's like funny, like I go through like modes. I'll want to watch like a documentary or like a psych thriller, because those are my faves, and then I will want to just like watch only high vibrational content and materials, and like I barely want to scroll on social media. Like I just want to get like really good, beautiful, enlightening things into my brain. So I try to keep my psyche at a nice balance, and don't go like down the, horror, thriller, true crime rabbit hole. That's very easy to fall down. And maybe that's something that you needed to hear. Maybe there's something about like being a little bit more conscious about the materials that you're taking in at this moment in time, because you are such in a place where like you really can manifest and create a lot of different things that you want. You're gonna have to reflect on a situation I'm seeing, and this is really kind of, you're in like this journey right now. Wherever you're at, you'll probably know what I mean by this, but like you're going through this right now. It just is what it is, and it doesn't feel necessarily bad or uncomfortable, but you definitely feel yourself like you've embarked on a new course, and you're like, I'm gonna have to navigate this is gonna be interesting. And you need to just kind of continue moving forward on your journey. It just feels like it's not the right time to just like I don't know yet, hang on. Exactly. Yeah, it's like it's not the right time. You just don't know everything you need to know yet. You need to keep doing some research, and you need to keep your eye on things. You need to keep yourself just open and interested in what shows up in your existence now that you put all these intentions out. I feel like you probably did some kind of intentional work around the portal. Something was important and like intentional, and this really made for a big shift in things. And when this happened, exactly, make room for the let go card, which is butterfly medicine. Make room for the new beginning on its way to you. It's like you can't experience letting go without the law of causality inherently being a new thing that shows up. The newness could just be the absence of the previous thing, right? Oh my gosh. So there will be probably a time in your journey, and you probably already have gone through this, so you're like, how many times do I have to learn this? But like, also because of that resistance that's showing up, it's exactly why you have to learn this. There might be more instances of having to let things go, and just this resilience of understanding the impermanence of life. And I feel like, before I speak on this, let me just pull some of these clarifiers. Oh, nice. We're keeping this short and sweet, friends. $57. One day at a time, exactly. Like, you need to just be in the moment. You just need to go through this part of your journey without needing to, like, know the outcome necessarily. 111, I told y'all. 222, absolutely. 657 actually popped up. It was like that when I got an important text message the other day. It was 657, and I was like, "Would you look at that? Would you freaking look at that?" Because there's been could be a verse that's important. Someone prayed for this. Interesting. I said this in another reading recently, that your Mars sign might be significant. Mental health, the art of letting go. Wow, okay. Yeah, let things be easy. Days feel like years. Follow your bliss. Ooh. Okay. Something, a hypnosis might be significant. So maybe you do some hypnosis practice, or you start a new hypnosis practice, and you just do like a hypnosis before bed for like positive thinking or self ideology and 10-10. You know, maybe you do it to be more active, to problem solve, whatever it is. Yeah, interesting. So yeah, you are being asked to be resilient on your journey of just learning how to let things go when they no longer serve you and they're no longer part of your experience. And I was looking into some numerology over my time in DC last weekend, which was during the time of the 8/8 portal, and I was like doing a lot of I did my whole ritual and practice in a hotel room, which was like the first time I've ever done that. I like to be in my home base usually when I do any kind of like spiritual work. But lately I just really trust in my gifts. I trust in my angelic protection. Like, I trust in my ability to do that kind of work anywhere. And it was very interesting and helpful and beautiful. Definitely not my favorite ritual I've ever done, but it was for sure very powerful. And I did a hypnosis before I went to bed, and I really was just kind of feeling into this feeling of needing to continue to just let go, not even necessarily of something specific, but just to the act of letting go, the art of letting go, being able to set intention, but then letting go of the outcome and trusting in the process, whether that means like trusting in source and trusting in divine to present these things into your life, trusting in your ability to create those things in due time, or trust in you set the attention, and whether it shows up in your life or not, it's still for your best interest no matter what. And there's like this feeling of like letting go also having to do with trust. Instead of this being like a more finite end to something, I feel like the 8/8 portal has been initiating you into just understanding that letting go is actually really beautiful, because it allows so much space and room for things to come into your experience and be even more fruitful or even more beautiful than you could have even intended with your own thinking mind. I think, follow your bliss. Like, this is really going to be a time where you just feel so like really intimate with yourself, like feeling into your pleasure, feeling into your joy, feeling into your, just the intimacy you have with life, and letting that be your guiding source. Because at the end of the day, you have to be with you every single day of your life for the rest of your life. And if you're in experiences or in a job or in dynamics or whatever that are not conducive for your overall joy and just that feeling of bliss and harmony that you've been tapping into, you have to be able to trust that you can let go of the reins of the situation and maybe just let go of how you even think that that's going to play out. I don't know, it's just this very interesting feeling of just like letting go of control, letting go of the knowing of how things are going to go, letting go of the outcome and what you think is right, and just falling into trust. And I think that's really beautiful, because sometimes with our very like thinking 3D mind, we hear about like, oh, we're going to have to let go under the full moon. But I think, with the full moon being in Aquarius, it's a little bit more of a light and enlightening, letting go, versus a physical, tangible, throw it in the fire type letting go. This is more of an enlightening letting it go. And it's going to show up for you in this journey in different ways. But there's a lot of like hope, and I think a lot of whimsy and a lot of joy and a lot of zest. And I think you need to just really allow yourself to be in that moment. That's what I'm certainly doing at this time. And I always, say that I'm part of the collective. So, these readings are very much for me and useful for me as well. And when I come back and listen to them when I'm like editing or, getting them uploaded onto the channel with all of the symbols and everything, like they offer me clarity on situations or new ways to look at things, because often, it'll be right online and right on par with the things that I'm going through. So like, I'm here with you in this space collective, and I have to learn a lot of these lessons alongside you. And I'm really grateful to be able to share things that seem to be useful and insightful to the people that I care about, to you people here on YouTube. And I also just am really grateful that it all kind of, again, it's that 37 harmony, you're on the right path. You're on the right path. And I'm really excited to see how this path continues to unfold for all of you and my dear loved ones. So, okay, I'm sending you lots of loving, and I will talk to you soon.